So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to a big blessing in my life, Judi Daughterty. She is with Inke, and they are going to be talking to you a little bit more about modular mates and how you can make that system work for you.
Hey guys, well, hello from Houston, Texas, and it's kind of fun to see that we are really all over the United States. So I love that, Angie. Thank you for asking them to post that. So you guys, just let me give you a little bit of intro. Modular Mates, January. You know, if I think about January, I think of certain things. Like, first of all, I always think I'm going to get healthy, right? That's on my list. January, I'm going to eat different. I'm going to exercise different. The next thing I think is I'm going to save lots of money. I'm definitely going to, that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to save lots of money. And the way I'm going to do that, and Fidel, if you could go ahead and mute yourself, that would be really great. Those Louisianans, you got to watch them. Tina's like, wait, what? So thank you, Sadal. So saving money is something that I have always thought in January. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start writing down what I spend. I'm going to be very careful about the extras, right? That's another one. Another one might be, I just want to get organized. I'm going to pretend I'm moving out of my house and get myself organized. There's a lot of different things that we put into January, and we start thinking about whether it is a challenge to ourselves, but what we're going to do to be better, right? To make ourselves better and our families better. Well, I feel like in Tupperware, we're living the dream. Okay. And that is in our homes that we do have systems. And I love how Angie talked about that. And I'm sure Stephanie will be able to pull up that flyer after we're finished today, just so you can see it. I mean, I have it here, but that's a little small for you guys to see all the way in Chicago and Sacramento and all those places you are today. But in Tupperware, we're living the dream in January because we are going to get people organized. And when we help people get organized, guess what? It's cleaner and they save money. And guess what? They eat healthier. Because when you have a modular mate system in your home, you know what you have, you know what you need ever before you go to the grocery store, rather than just going, oh, do I need to get this? Do I need to get that? And so I wanted to share with you when I started Tupperware 29 years ago, that this is actually what came in my opportunity kit. And I know things have changed a little bit, right, over the years, but in my kit was modular. So I was forced, if you will, to learn how to demonstrate and fall in love with that product. And what I want you to know, because I'm looking through the names and I surely don't know everybody in FSRC like I wish I did, but there's a lot of you that I know are brand new to our business, just started this year in 2020 and even the last couple months. And a lot of you, and I know from Bravo, don't want to go live just yet because you think, I don't know the product. I don't know what I'm going to say about it. My recommendation to you is what I did. Start with one product. In fact, start with Modular Mates and perfect that demonstration and do that. And because if you perfect your demonstration, what's going to happen is you'll be more confident, and then you won't mind going live, and you won't mind talking at your bingos or your Facebook parties or your cooking classes or all those things that we do offer, because you'll have more confidence. And so today we have the best of the best. One of my dearest friends of life, and that old saying, join Tupperware so you can meet really great people. That's my story. So we have Inke Dean, and many of you know Inke. She's been in Tupperware. Well, let's see. I've been in Houston 19 years, right, Inke? So almost 19 years that Inke has been in Tupperware. And although Inke has been able to learn to demonstrate absolutely every product we've ever had in our catalog or in our sale flyer, she has perfected her modular mate demonstration. And every year she offers to her customers a custom kitchen. She offers to them a modular mate demonstration. And now with COVID, and we all learned to work our business very differently through her bingos and her VIP group and our Facebook parties, she's going to be offering modular mates. And so we thought, as FSRC, we thought, okay, who could be the best? Oh, Inke. Who would give you the best demonstration on modular mates? Inke. And so today, Inke is going to show you a demonstration demonstration. And I highly recommend like running and either getting in a closet or somewhere you can get where your family's not going to interrupt you, because you are going to want to savor every word that she tells you. Her demonstration skills are unlike, I mean, I only know a handful of people that can demonstrate like she can, and she is phenomenal. Her word choices are such powerful word choices. So make sure you grab your notebook. Make sure you get in a quiet place. You're like, kids, I'll be back, because Inke Dean is going to share with you a fantastic modular mate demonstration. And with that, we know come January, when sets are half off, right? Angie told you that. And our single pieces will be 20% off, that you will be able to perfect your demonstration. In fact, maybe you'll be like me and it'll be the product you'll be known for in Tupperware will be your modular mates. So without further ado, from Cypress, Texas, Inke Dean, she is a star director. You just saw her in the top 10 of organization sales. We are so proud of her and so excited to share with you FSRC. So give her a big, nice round of applause, Inke Dean. Woo!
Well, hello. Can you hear me okay, Judi?
Wait, what'd you say?
Shush up. Let me turn my hearing aid up. Hold on. All right. Well, I don't know about that intro. Now I'm like, okay, I got to live up to this intro. This was a good intro. Thank you. But really, truly, thank you for asking me to demonstrate modular mates. I think they're like the firstborn of my business, like the first product that you're like, I love this so much. I can never give this up. That's how modular mates are to me. I was introduced to modular mates when I first joined Tupperware. I hate that Judi tells how long I've been in Tupperware because it just makes me feel really old, but I have been in Tupperware for 18 and a half years. And when I first joined, I just was going to be a personal shopper like many of us. And I saw modular mates, loved them, knew that my family of 4 kids, we needed to have organization because it was out of control. We had just built a new home and our pantry was so wonderful. And I'm going to be honest, food got lost. I would go in there and go, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I had these goldfish over here, and food was lost everywhere. So I started using modular mates. It wasn't until I went to a training. This is like back in the day. We had to get in our car. We had to hire a babysitter. We had to drive to a training, right? And we had to, put some time into it. But nowadays we can just push a little button and watch a video. It's pretty cool. But I went to a training that Judi did about modular mates, and I learned more about the engineering that goes behind it, the idea of how to mix and match your different shapes and heights that I'm going to talk about today. And in learning that, it was like, I just fell even more in love and was like, okay, I need to do this. So I redid my pantry properly, added more containers, and started using the product, and haven't looked back. It has to be my favorite product because I really appreciate the value of it. And that's what's cool about a modular mate demonstration is those of you that were at our Jubilee, our virtual Jubilee, we learned about telling a story. And I really believe that's what the modular mate demonstration does, is it tells a story to our customers of how it's going to help them. So rather than just like, hey, this is going to save you some money and stuff like that, like we go through the process of it. So when you think about the demonstration, what you're going to share with your customers, whatever you're going to take away from this demonstration or other demonstrations you see and make it your own, take that information and think about how are you going to tell a story and convey that to your customers so that they really understand the value and the impact of a plastic container. Because sometimes people are going to like, it's a plastic container. I can go down to this, Walmart and get one, but that's not the story behind our modular mates. So anyway, so tell that story. I think it's compelling. And just a little bit of background. This is a set that I was trained on, a set that I put together. It gives different shapes and different heights, so allows you to talk about each of our heights and each of our shapes that we have. It does show 3 of the shapes. It doesn't show the super ovals or rounds if rounds are available, so you can always mix those in. And so there's that. I put food in them because when they don't have food in them, they don't look as, not only do they not look as pretty, but they also don't convey that message of, oh, wait, that's pasta. I do have pasta in my pantry. So sometimes when we're visual, we can see, what's in there, and it connects with us as a consumer that, okay, wait, I do have goldfish. And in fact, I just ate stale goldfish, right? So put food in them. I think it will make a difference. Put some labels on there. and make them look pretty. All right, so when I do my demonstration at a party face to face, I do use auction money to engage the customer. But whenever you're doing it virtual, you might kind of bypass some of those or whatever. So you can kind of, twist it up, make it your own, whatever you want it to do. But start off by saying modular mates were designed years and years ago by our amazing company, Tupperware, with a ton of engineering in mind. And modular mates, they're a container that is designed to help you save time, money, and energy. And you might be thinking like, it's a plastic container, lady. Okay, Tupperware lady. How is this plastic container going to do all that for me? So I'm going to tell you all about that. So how is this going to save you time? Well, obviously you can look right into this container. It's a clear container. You can see how much food you have on hand. So when you're making your grocery list and you open up your kitchen cabinets or you walk into your pantry, you can say, yep, I need that, I need that, I need that. So you can make your grocery list super fast. You know exactly what food you have on hand, so you don't have to hunt for it, right? If you've ever lost food, you know what I'm talking about. So definitely going to save you some time. Is it going to save you money? You bet. You're not even going to believe how much money it's going to save you. Because of our virtually airtight, liquid tight seal, your food's going to stay fresher longer. And I don't mean like it's going to stay fresher longer a couple of days, a lot longer. So you're going to have time to consume what you've invested in and the food that you've put in here. And then, so that's time, that's money. How about energy? How are we going to get energy? Well, you know what? When you're organized, it just happens naturally. Organization equals energy. Have you ever taken the time to, let's say, clean your house, right? You cleaned your house really well, and then you left, you ran some errands, and you came home and you forgot that you'd cleaned your house. And when you open that door, you see those sparkly tables all cleaned and dusted and the floor shiny. You're like, oh, I'm all clean. And suddenly you have like this burst of energy, right? To go do something fun. So you're definitely going to have energy from being organized. To keep it simple, we've got 3 basic shapes today, 5 different heights. I'm going to go through those and show you how to use them. The first one is our shape of a square. So this is our square container. It's 7 3/4 inches square, just so you can get an idea of how large this opening is. So that's our square. Then we have the shape of an oval. There's our pretty oval. And then we have the shape of a rectangle. Side note, sometimes in my demonstration, I will tell people, I went to school, I have a degree in early childhood, and I was like, oh, I guess, I've never used my degree, but today I'm using it because I'm sharing shapes with you. That's important. All right, so there's our rectangle. And then we have 5 different heights. This is our tallest one. It's the height of a 5. A lot of times when people see this, they think that's pretty tall, Inke. I don't know if that's going to fit in my cabinets. What Tupperware did is they designed all of our containers with a flat front or a back, because the front and the back are identical. What that means is you can lay it down on its side. It's not going to weeble wobble over. It's going to sit nice and firm and allow you to use shorter shelves, but that have more depth to them. That's what this container is going to do for you. So this is our height of a 5. Then we go down to the height of a 4, which is about a 2.5 inch difference. So if you're trying to look at the difference on the screen here, it's about 2.5 inches in difference. Then we go down to the 3, the 2, and the 1. So these are your different heights, the height of a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Now, what do those numbers mean? The numbering system is Tupperware's way of kind of helping us mix and match different shapes. And instead of having to measure things, I can know that a 1 and a 2 are going to make a 3. So for instance, how many of you have a pantry? Everyone's raising their hand. All right, if you have a pantry, typically you have more space to work with. So that means you have taller shelves, right? You have taller shelves. The average pantry shelf height is going to be a 6. So that means you take a 5 and you put a 1 on top of it. Then you take a 4, you put a 2 on top of it. Take a 3 with a 2 and a 1, and again, a 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is my height of a 6. We're just doing math, right? Just adding up little numbers here. Well, let's say that maybe your builder built a pantry like our builder did. I have one shelf that's a 6, one shelf that's a 5, another shelf that's a 6. Maybe your builder decided to do something like that, or you move or you remodel your kitchen. You think, I just got these Modular Mate containers. What am I supposed to do now? No problem. You're going to use the 5 by itself, a 4 with a 1, a 3 with a 2, and a 3 with a 2 to now give you the height of a 5, right? We're just going to move them around. Let's say that you want to go into your kitchen cabinets. So we're going to move away from our pantry. We're going to go into the cabinets, or you have an RV, a boat, a college dorm room. You're going to have smaller spaces to work with. So remember the one that I said you can lay down on its side? You're going to lay that 5 down on its side, use the 4 by itself, a 3 with a 1, a 2 with a 2, a 2 with a 2, where now I have the height of a 4. You can actually take it all the way down to the height of a 3. Again, like I said earlier, we're just mixing and matching the shapes and the sizes around, or the sizes, we're just mixing them around to where they're going to fit in every single cabinet that's made in the United States. Doesn't matter where you live, we're going to be able to put those in there. What's nice about that is that you just get the containers for the food that you need. And then when you get them in, you're just going to be able to mix them all around and move them however you need to. I do recommend that you put together centers in your pantry. So maybe you have like a pasta, beans, and rice center, a beverage center, my favorite, the snack center. That's a good one. And then a breakfast center. So that kind of helps you get things a little more organized. So when you walk into your pantry, you can find that you can get your hands on it right away. Now, and of course, we talked about this earlier, but how many of you have ever gone into your kitchen? You've gone into your pantry or your kitchen cabinets and you found that you have 2 or 3 of the very same thing in the very same cabinet, probably on the very same shelf, and they're all open, right? So things like cereal, chips, stuff like that. The reason that ends up happening is because when someone in your family goes into the pantry, right? They go in there and they're like, chips, yum. And they know that bag is rolled down, taped up, chip clipped, anything we try to do to keep those chips fresh. They know no matter what, those chips are going to be stale, right? They're going to be, ugh. So what do? They go straight to the fresh, brand new bag of chips and they open it up because they want good tasting chips or cereal that's not stale. So that's why we end up with several of them, or they just get lost, one or the other. Well, with your modular mates, because every modular mate container has a permanent position, no food gets lost or duplicated. You're going to have your chips in your chip container. They're clear. You can see what you have on hand. So when anyone in your family goes in there, they can grab hold of those chips, sit down and have a really good snack. The other thing is if you get a little frustrated by the lack of space that you have, someone's at my door. If you get frustrated by the lack of kitchen space that you have, maybe you don't have the pantry that you want or the cabinets that you want. I mean, we all want a bigger kitchen, right? The modular mate system, you're going to be shocked. You literally are going to be shocked on how much space it's going to save you. Because here's what's happening is when I buy a box of wheat thins, I come home, I open up the box of wheat thins, I pour it into the container that it fits into, seal it up. Number one, I'm going to throw away that box. Right? That box is cardboard. Cardboard's gross. It's recycled everything. The glue that holds the cardboard box together, it tracks bugs, right? I just want that out. Plus, a box of wheat thins this big, and the product that's inside of that box of wheat thins is this big. So it only takes up a little bit of space. So I'm utilizing the space that the food takes up rather than what the box and the packaging takes up. So that's going to save you lots of space right there. The other cool thing is, just like I showed you a minute ago, how we were the height of a 6, I'm utilizing every square inch of space that's in my kitchen, in my cabinets or my pantry shelf. I'm utilizing all of it. I don't have to have any extra space above the box or anything like that. Every square inch is taken care of. So you don't have any food that gets lost. You're taking advantage of all the space that you have available to you. I do want to give you an idea of what fits into each of the containers, because when you start to put food in them, I think it's marketing's worked great for us. When we buy that, I'm just going to keep using wheat thins, but when we buy that box of wheat thins, we think we're getting this much wheat thins. And so when I first started using modular mates, I always picked the wrong container. So learning that, like, what fits into what was kind of fun to me, because it did let me know that, oh my gosh, I'm really not getting that much. I'm only getting this much food in there. So I'm going to give you an idea of what fits into there, because I think it's kind of fun. This one is, we're going to start with the rectangle. This is our rectangular 2. So that means it's a rectangular shape. It's the height of a 2. On the bottom of the containers, so on the bottom of every container is a number. I know y'all can't see that, but there's a little number that's molded into here. There's a shape around the number. So this says a 1 on it, and it has an oval around it. So this tells me this is an oval 1. That's an oval 1. So I know that this is a rectangle 2. Now, what's cool about this is 3 ovals fit on top of a rectangle 2. 1 oval and a square fits on top of a rectangle 2. So it's kind of like Legos, right? You're mixing and matching and moving them all around. So helps you customize the space you have. So when you look up here and you see I have my rectangular 2 with 6 sleeves of crackers in here, that's the capacity of this. 6 sleeves of saltine crackers fit into here perfectly. Now, if you are a family like mine and we have a lot of people in the house, I can go to Costco, I can go to Sam's or any kind of a bulk shopping. or buy crackers when they're on sale, and I've got a safe place to put them because crackers go stale so quickly. But maybe you're like my in-laws. It's just my mother-in-law, my father-in-law at home, and they don't need 6 sleeves of crackers on hand, right? That might take them a while to get to that. What you can do is you can mix and match the different crackers. So sometimes you might have your club crackers and your Ritz crackers and your saltine crackers. So you can mix and match the different sleeves in here. This is also going to be good for flour and sugar. And I'll talk about that more in just a little bit. And then if you really want to get organized, those little packets that we have, the seasoning packets, the popcorn, things like that, they do stack beautifully in here. So if you're someone like me and you really want to have a place for everything and a container for everything, this is really good for that. So that's our rectangular height. Sorry, it's our rectangular shape, and it's the height of a 2. All right, that's that one. Then we're going to move on to our squares. So this one is a square 4. So that means it's a square shape. It's the height of a 4. You can see how tall that is. I love this one for flour. If you're a baker, this is the container that you need for this one, your flour and your sugar. Because if you want to have a lot on hand, it allows you to keep it fresh. It doesn't go bad. And whenever you get that baking desire. I'm not really a big baker. How many of y'all are big bakers? I'm not really a big baker, but my whole family, they love to bake. I'm the eater, they're the baker, but seriously, they're always like, do we have bread flour? I'm like, go into the baking cabinet. They know where it all is. So over time, they've learned where everything's at. But let me tell you why I love this one for flour and sugar, because I want to scoop. I want to scoop and not have a mess. You can take a whole 1 cup measuring cup, scoop it down into here, level it off. The excess falls back into the container, not all over the counter. So in other, containers and stuff, you're trying to get that flour and that sugar out of, like a bad infomercial, and it's fumbling everywhere. It's so perfect because it doesn't make a mess everywhere. So if you're a baker, put that in there. This is also going to be good for anything that you buy in large quantities. That really big bag of tortilla chips fits perfectly into here. I'm going to be honest, I didn't believe that. I think it's probably at one of Judy's trainings. And I was like, okay, she's wrong about that, but that's okay. She's almost perfect. It's fine. And I came home, poured that whole big bag of tortilla chips in there. It fit perfectly. There are still times in this house that even after 18 and a half years of using Modular Mates that we're like, is that going to fit in there? We're like, of course it's going to fit in there. So big bag of tortilla chips. When my kids were little, I would buy the big bag of, not the big bag, but the big box of goldfish. I'd buy that big box. I'd put it into here so that it would stay fresh. And then I'd fill up some of the smaller containers, the oval ones, with goldfish so the kids could go grab them. I didn't want them grabbing this and having to lug that around. I could take the oval one and dump it into the, what's that thing? Diaper bag. And it worked perfectly. Okay, so that's your square 4. Next, we're gonna move to the ovals. Love the ovals. Ovals are so compact. Like it's pretty cool because ovals are so narrow, but they hold so much that you can always kind of squeeze them in. You're like, I can put an oval over here. This is one I definitely recommend for dorms. I have college kids now. That's a shocker to me. But this is really helpful because they don't have a lot of space, but allows them to keep snacks on hand, keeps the bugs out, all that good stuff. So this is the oval 5. This is oval 5. This is one that I do recommend. If you have if you have cabinets that are like above your microwave, above your refrigerator, and you don't use them a lot, and you have food that you want to keep on hand, but maybe you don't eat it that often. Maybe you're not a big baker, but you still want to have that flour and sugar on hand. Go ahead and put it in here. Go ahead and put your flour and sugar in here and turn it on its side and put it in those cabinets. So it's kind of out of the way. You're not always having to move it around and look at it, but yet you can have it. It's going to stay fresh until you're ready to use it. I have spaghetti in this one. So it does hold your spaghetti, lasagna, fettuccine. It will hold 200 tea bags. So those of you that love your tea, you can stack up your tea bags perfectly in here. And it'll also hold a box of cereal. And you know what? Let's talk about cereal while we're here, because that is the number one thing that I hear at my parties is, can you do something with my cereal? And we do have cereal container, cereal store that holds 20 cups. That's the big box of cereal. A regular box of cereal, 15, 16, 17 ounces, will fit perfectly in here. And you can even use the accessory seal, the pour-all seal, to pour it out. Cereal is something that not only goes bad, but when you're going to make that grocery list and you want to find out if there's cereal and your husband's favorite cereal, your kid's favorite cereal, because that's a thing, right? Everyone has their cereal that they want. Then whenever you do that, if you have to go into your pantry, take the box, open it up, look inside, shake it, do something, That's time. That's time that you're having to spend doing it. Inevitably, also, all it does is just irritate you because you go pick up that box and there's just like crumbs left. You're like, why didn't someone throw it away? Throw that box away, get rid of it. So with your cereal in here, you can see exactly what you have on hand. So that's going to be perfect for the regular size box of cereal. All right, next we're going to talk about, so that's our oval 5. We're going to move on to our oval 4. So this is our oval 4. And this is going to be for your taco shells. Let's see, I have rice and Chex Mix in here. So like a little Chex Mix thing. This is also going to be for taco shells, ice cream cones, because those go stale pretty quickly. Your snack foods, you can put any of your larger capacity of your snack foods will fit perfectly into here. And then, so that's your oval 4. And then we're going to talk about oval 3s. Oval 3s, this is probably, I'm going to say the most common size in my snack center. So this is going to be your Wheat Thins, Better Cheddars, Triscuits, small cookies, crackers. I have a bag of brown sugar fits perfectly into here. If you're not a big baker and you don't want it in one of your large containers, the oval 3 is perfect for that. But you know, this kind of reminds me to tell you guys, when I put Oreo cookies in here, I was talking to someone one time and they're like, you know what, I don't really need Modular containers. It's just my husband and myself at home. I mean, that's a cool system, Inke. I really like that, but it's just the two of us. We don't need all that. And I was thinking about like Oreo cookies. Okay, when I buy Oreo cookies, yum. And then I usually like to try to do a little survey, double stuff or regular. But when you buy Oreo cookies, and I bring them home, I have 4 kiddos and a hubby. When I open up that package and we all have 1 or 2 or 3, and we eat those cookies, are there really a lot of cookies left over for me to keep fresh? Probably not, right? But if my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, whenever they buy Oreo cookies and they have a couple, they have a lot more to hold on to that they need to invest in their purchase, right? They just bought those Oreo cookies. They want to make sure they don't go bad. So whether you're a large family that wants to take advantage of bulk shopping and keep that fresh, or a smaller family and you just want to preserve the investment that you've made in your food and not throw it away, this is going to be super easy for you. So you're going to love your Modular Mates. By the way, Oreo cookies, whenever you buy them, if you buy the double stuff, you do have to eat 2 of them before the whole thing fits into here. I know it's sad, but someone in your family is going to have to step up and do that job for you. All right, so now we're going to move on to the oval 2s. These are your oval 2s. This one I have breadcrumbs. This one I have cornstarch. This is going to be for like raisins, dates, nuts, chocolate chips. You can use this one for a little bit of oatmeal. If you don't want to have a lot of oatmeal on hand, something along that capacity is going to be perfect for that one. I also have beans in this one. So you get the idea of kind of what fits into there. And then next, we're going to move on to the oval 1, the last size I want to tell you guys about. And this one is going to be perfect for baking soda, baking powder, bouillon cubes, cupcake liners, toothpicks. You know, think about when you store your toothpicks. Are they out in the open collecting dust and then you go use the toothpick or you cook with them or something like that? Preserve your toothpicks, stick them in something like this. Maybe those little sprinkles, right? The little sprinkles that we have, those are going to be perfect for it as well. Probably the most important thing that you're going to put into here is going to be your baking soda. So when you buy your baking soda, how many boxes do we typically buy? Yeah, we usually buy 2 boxes, maybe 3 boxes if it's on sale. And why do we do that? Well, we buy that when it's on sale because we need to bake with 1 box. So we're going to put that to the side. We got to bake with it. We need to put 1 in the refrigerator and maybe 1 in the freezer, because what does baking soda do? Baking soda is so good at absorbing odor, right? It's super, super good at absorbing odors. You can put it in some kitty litter boxes. You can put it in some carpets. You can put it in your refrigerator, freezer. It absorbs those odors. But the problem that baking soda has is it doesn't have an off switch. So when you go to bake with it and it's been sitting in your cabinet, it's sitting in there, it's open, it's exposed to air. And what's it been doing? It's been doing the same thing that the one in your refrigerator has been doing. It's absorbing odors. And so it uses itself up, right? It doesn't have any more oomph to give you in your baking. So if you've ever taken the time, the money, the energy to bake cookies or homemade breads or things like that, and you've got your cornstarch, your baking soda in there, and it maybe didn't rise all the way, or maybe your cookies kind of crumbled, and you're like, I thought I followed the recipe. What happened here? More than likely, 9 times out of 10, your baking soda had expired. So you got to take that baking soda and get rid of it. Put your baking soda in here. When you put this seal on, it is going to keep it fresh in here for a year. That's how long this will stay fresh in here. All right, so baking soda, super duper important. You want to make sure that that stays nice and fresh. All right, so those are all of our different shapes, our different heights that we have. We have different sets that are available, a couple different ways that you can purchase your modular mates. Number one, join my team. I'd love to have you on my team. I'd love for you to be able to take advantage of our personal shopper discount. It's a great way to invest in yourself, invest in your family, get your whole pantry redone, save lots of money. The second way you can do is you can host a party. Not only will you be helping out our hostess Judi tonight, and she'll be getting credit for you dating this party, but also you're going to get lots of free Tupperware and half off items. The third way is you can get one of our sets that we have on sale tonight, and then I go through the different sets that we have. And that's that. Those are your modular mates.
So I want you guys to write in the chat, what were some of your ahas? What were some of your ahas? And you heard Inke in the beginning talk about there are so many different shapes and sizes of your modular mates. This is what she chooses to sell and put in her sets, but you do whatever you feel is good. I wrote down a couple things, Inke, and I just think this was really great. You paint the picture very clearly. And I think how you started and you talked about the Jubilee and how we learn to tell stories. You do that very, very well, to the point, no matter what type of family you have. I mean, obviously your family is completely opposite than my family, right? I have one kid. You have 4 and more. Okay. So you were able to talk about whether it be a small home or a large home, that these modular mates are going to fit. And I love that. I love some of the powerful word choices you said, and these are just in no particular order. I was trying to write and scribble and record, and people were texting me. So again, in no particular order, I love how you said the most common size. I was like, oh, the most common size. Well, then that's the one I want, because that's the most common size. I love how you said permanent location. Because, you know, if I was sitting at your party, Inke, and I heard that, I think of my Tupperware cabinet, which is where I open it up and all the bowls fall on the floor, right? And you look for a seal. But when you talked about modulars, you talked about a permanent location. And so that to me was a really powerful word choice. Utilize, you talked about utilizing space. I don't think there's any one of us that wouldn't want a bigger kitchen or more cabinet space, right? I mean, I know what Inke's kitchen looks like. In fact, her pantry is a walk-in pantry. Okay. It's huge, but she could use more. She could use more. So I love the utilizing the space. That's really good. Fitting your family size. Something you said, Inke, which again, some of these word choices kind of go right over unless you're not so, you know, unless you're really in tune to hear it. And that is when you talked about an accessory seal. When you talked about an accessory seal, I like that. That was like buying a dress and getting an accessory pair of earrings or something of that sort. So I really like that. And then in closing, 3 ways to get them. I love that, because some people just want to purchase them right away. Some people are like, no, I want a discount. How do I get that? And so I really like that you talked about the 3 different ways to get those. So Inke Dean, you are phenomenal. You really are.
Aw,
Thank you.
You're sweet. Thank you.
So put in your chat, put in the chat so that Inke can go back and read it. And of course I can as well, on the ahas that you had, you know, the things that stick out that you might say at your demonstration. And again, this is what she does. If you use something different, that's up to you. But I think that that's really great. So modular mates, it's the way to start out the new year, because we're going to not only have a fantastic sale, 50% off sets, 20% off single pieces. We can help people get organized to save money. And we can also, that means they're going to eat probably a little different, because we see all the different foods that we have on hand. So I love that. So thank you. Thank you.